We're bringing it on active construction sites with hundreds of workers in the field and just breezing through with dynamic object removal. You can have vehicles, you can have people moving around the scanner. As long as they're moving, they'll be automatically cleaned out for the point cloud. The demand for digital twins went up as people realized maybe I will not be able to travel and maybe I shouldn't travel, because why getting on a plane, wasting a day or a week of my life if I can just click on a computer, scanning 250,000 square feet with a sub-quarter-inch accuracy, if you tie into existing server control, allows you to do daily scans. So yes, mobile scanning was nowhere close to this a couple years ago, but we are just reaching that potential, and we are actually in a phase of hypergrowth, where the more we discover, the better technology gets, the faster it improves. So welcome everyone, very happy to be here. Very happy Matt pulled an event in such an incredible short amount of time. My name is Marek Colton, representing NavVis, based out of New York City. My colleague Noah Johnson, we are here to show you something cool, hopefully, something interesting, for those who've never seen what NavVis is all about. Starting from the beginning, I might be a bit underdressed to the occasion, or it's a bit chilly in the room. To warm things up, we'll think about making a little giveaway for one lucky person, and to celebrate Captain Kirk going to space this morning. I'm not sure how many of you have seen it, but everything went fine, I guess, from the last thing we heard. So if you have your phones ready, scan the barcode, or if you cannot scan the barcode, put sli.do. It's gonna ask you for a code. You put a 6-digit code, 385173, and in just a second, we're gonna start our competition. So since he went on a Blue Origin rocket, we have a $250 Amazon gift card for the person who gets the answer right, or the first person to get the closest answer right. And the idea is, I hope everyone is ready. We'll have a link on the next slide. We came here yesterday afternoon, slightly bored, and decided to take a VLX for a spin. Started scanning outside on the corner, walked through the street, walked through the back alley, coming into the building, just to see how the venue is gonna come out. This is probably not the prettiest NavVis data set you will ever see. I mean, it's one of those run and gun, just to come up with something cool. Last minute for the presentation, we have nothing else to say. But hopefully it's gonna get the job done. So how long do you think it took to capture this point cloud? We are talking about the alley, the front facade, this entire venue, downstairs and upstairs. And NavVis is not just about the speed. We'll talk about other things in just a few minutes. We got a winner, so I'm gonna go. Jonathan Stevens, is a person like this in the building? Where do we have John? The answer is right there on the slide. It's 15 minutes, 36 seconds from A to Z. So can I ask John to come here to the stage, please? Can we get a little clap for John for first answer? Okay, now we can go to the appetizer is gone. We're starting serving the main dish. Hopefully you guys are hungry. I'm always hungry. Long story short, our first intro slide, I don't have to talk about it because we are all in the same boat, pushing BIM, laser scanning, digital twins, reality capture, all across the board. When it comes to what reality capture is, to understand the future, we have to understand the past. So talking about total stations, and when the real revolution happened, everyone knows there are terrific tools taking super precise measurements. Then 20 years later, first efficient static scanners started coming out. We can simple it down that there are just faster and better total stations. Yes and no, you can do so much more with them. So those not just single measurements, there are thousands or millions of measurements, and you can do stuff with static scanners that you cannot do with total stations. We're talking about pipe diameters, floor flatness, and all other projects you can do with them. They've been on the market for a long time. Most of my clients, besides NavVis, also have static scanners for the best data accuracy you can get. But again, it's using the right tool for the right job. We are never pushing just NavVis, we are pushing the hybrid workflow where you are picking and choosing what to bring on a project. And sometimes the right tool means you're bringing 2 or 3 tools with you. Again, most of the folks in the room know the differences between static and mobile scanning. Speed versus accuracy trade-off. That's been our Achilles heel for many years, happily due to our updates, improvements, and amazing work of our software engineers, which are beyond my understanding. That's where all the NavVis patents are. That's why NavVis gets so much money from VC. The data just keeps improving, and we'll get to that point later. Long story short, static scanners, terrific accuracy, rather slower. Mobile scanners, super fast, slightly less accurate. So talking about mobile scanning. The scanning was made on purpose. In the beginning, it was expensive. It was all hardware-oriented. We have terrific static scanners with amazing hardware, where the hardware declares what is the accuracy and the quality of the data. Talking about mobile scanners, they're using much cheaper and much more primitive lasers, such as Velodynes. Not too many people are fans of Velodyne. Same way as I have a Nikon camera at home with a super nice lens, big sensor. The problem is I don't know where it is because it's been years since I used it. And for some reason, this little camera right here takes comparable photos. So how is it possible that I have this super nice sensor at home, I don't use it to take photos, and I just take a product from Apple or Samsung where software and AI makes up for 90–95% of photo quality. It's the same reason laser scanning. You can use off-the-shelf standard lasers, but if you don't have the right software and the right AI to filter, stitch the data together, you will have accuracy of over an inch. It's cool for self-driving vehicles, maybe robots in a factory, forklifts, but it's nowhere close enough to survey work. That's the secret sauce that NavVis has been perfecting since 2009 and developing this IP, which finally, after so many years, allowed us to compete with static scanners head-to-head as we achieved their accuracy and data quality. So when we are coming and looking at the full spectrum, using the right tool for the right job, we believe everyone should have at least one of each. And then they can be bulletproof going to every project they think. And it's not just total station. You can merge VLX to the GPS control points, you can merge it with drones and other static scanners. So we've been talking about the improvements to our data. And looking at the screen right now, there are 2 sample fly-throughs conducted. One on the left is in Stockholm, one on the right is in Munich. So you can see historic buildings, a lot of detail. A couple years ago, maybe some of you saw me pushing that M3 cart around. It was an interesting device. It was very hard to sell. VLX made our life much easier. M3 would pack into a coffin the size of this table. You couldn't put on a plane, had to ship it ground freight. We, going around New York City, would literally take on a subway, like a baby stroller, because no Uber would pick us up with such a big box. Taking this one anywhere now is a piece of cake. So it's not just about hardware is getting smaller, more efficient and better, but the output from the hardware is also improving tremendously. So 5 years ago, we were nowhere close where we are right now. And the good news is we are not even close to tapping out on the hardware. We're still squeezing out juice as our software engineers find out more and more tricks how to get better data from the existing hardware. I would say if you buy a hardware-oriented product, like a normal car, like I drive, Toyota, it depreciates the minute I drive out of the dealership. Hopefully one day I'll drive a Tesla, just download an update, making it go faster or farther, because it's a software-oriented product. And we are happy to lead that software revolution in scanning. So talking about scanning, is the scanning difficult? Is the scanning complex? You know, we have a little video right here showing what you can do with our scanner. And the sample project here is top floor of our office, which is about 6,600 square feet. Took 6 minutes to scan for one of our colleagues. And the data was within quarter-inch accurate from a terrestrial scanner. NavVis claims it took them 2 hours to scan with a static scanner. I think they're hating a bit. I would have scanned it with 60 minutes myself, but the ratio 1:10 is there. And you know, those point clouds are available on our website. Anyone can download them, public data, and see how 2 point clouds look together. So yes, mobile scanning was nowhere close to this a couple years ago, but we are just reaching that potential, and we are actually in a phase of hypergrowth, where the more we discover, the better technology gets, the faster it improves. We have a video playing how scanning looks, and we actually think it's going to be more fun if we have a live presentation with my colleague Noah, who can put the scanner on and show you what he sees when he scans the room. Because a lot of folks are asking us, hey, how do you scan with NavVis? It's just such a different workflow. So I know that Matthew might hate me, but I'll try to do something impossible. Stream the VLX to my laptop to the computer upstairs, hoping that the connection will hold up. So yeah, we're gonna close this PowerPoint for a second and go to the screen share. So right now we're seeing what Noah sees on the screen. Very quick product demo right now. He's setting up name, going next, and this kind of initializes itself. And we'll just give him a minute to scan the room. Hopefully the screen will not be too laggy. So I'm sure you know a lot of folks, when they leave the field, they're hoping and praying that everything was captured. From the space they could see it. With a VLX, you can literally see a 2D floor plan like you're playing Doom or Call of Duty, and just minimize it and see how it looks. Yeah, I see the lag is super real because the scanner is barely moving, so maybe you stand there for a second until it catches up, because we are getting about 0.1 frame rates per second. As you see right away, it sees the stage and it moves him around the stage. It's the curtain on a wall, so maybe we can have him just walk around, and hopefully we'll give it another 30 seconds to try. But anyone who wants to play with the VLX later, you are more than welcome to visit Mike Kwan upstairs from Tactical VR. He can give you a demo. He's one of our clients here on the conference, one of our NavVis providers. Yep. For those who are curious how the backstage looks here, it's not that nice, but at least you will know what's behind that wall. And we'll get to know the wall thickness too. Yep, so it builds the point cloud and captures images, so you get something two-in-one, like you would bring a terrestrial scanner and Matterport and merge them into one deliverable. And obviously you can walk up and down. We have clients who scan refineries. Shell is leading the way here. They probably scan hundreds of millions of square feet. And beauty of scanning with NavVis is, I will get to the slide later, like how much faster it makes you, how many more projects you can pick up. Now we have Noah coming here. Obviously you can tie it to server control by physically touching control points. So yeah, talking about, is this just about the cost? I mean, when you don't know what they're talking about, they're definitely talking about the money, but there's also other things that you need to keep in mind. So it's not just the cost of scanning, but how you open yourself to all those other use cases. So speaking about scanning, and all of you know how it evolved from the early days to the later days, the cost per square foot will come down. It's not NavVis' fault, it's not anyone's fault. The technology is getting better, technology is getting faster, technology is getting cheaper, the price per square foot is going down. The way to add value on top of it, this is the key to growing anyone's business, but the cost of data acquisition per square foot is one of the driving factors. What else can you do with the data? So 6 years ago, the price per square foot was definitely much higher than now, and the days of high price per square foot are gone. The same way as I remember my first cell phone. I was afraid to call anyone because then my dad would almost kill me, because it was like, I don't know, $5 a minute, living in Poland, so it was like 5 Polish zlotys. I would only text or use a landline at certain hours in the evening. But technology moving forward, internet, you remember dial-up, 1 megabyte, you could literally put how many cents it would cost. Right now, you stream gigabytes per hour on Netflix and nobody cares. So for any technology to get adoption, it needs to be more widespread, easier to use, and more affordable per unit of measurement. So talking about static scanning, you can use it anywhere, but at some point, certain projects cannot justify the price of scanning. Then we get into mobile mapping, and you open yourself up to other new opportunities, like regular scanning for high-value processes, or everyday tasks, like construction site and the project which you have lower margin. Then we were talking about mobile mapping, where you're not just scanning a building, but you're identifying things in the building and locating it in space and creating a digital twin. And we believe that mobile mapping, what we are doing right now, is the foundation of autonomous mapping. NavVis already have a couple of pets in the office, none of them that you know about yet, because the cost of use of those pets is still way too high, and we have been selling a very expensive product for a couple of years. We have to make sure that when we release it, it's something that anyone can afford who is interested. Talking about applications, what can you use laser scanning for? I don't have to tell you. Construction verification is one of the main ones. We're bringing it on active construction sites with hundreds of workers in the field and just breezing through with dynamic object removal. You can have vehicles, you can have people moving around the scanner. As long as they're moving, they'll be automatically cleaned out for the point cloud. Because we use similar algorithms to Google in their self-driving vehicles, and we just filter it out. If somebody's standing there because his jaw dropped and they think it's a stormtrooper weapon and not a laser scanner, they will definitely stay in the point cloud. Scanning being so fast, scanning 250,000 square feet with a sub-quarter-inch accuracy, if you tie into existing server control, allows you to do daily scans. We have some tech companies who are building data centers who scan not on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, because the value per square foot of the data center is probably the highest of any building in the world, maybe except for Knox. But yeah, typically the higher value per square foot, the more frequent scanning, the more benefit to scanning itself. As-built documentation, bread and butter for a lot of folks in the industry, creating scan for CAD, scan for BIM. And yeah, we know our limitations. We never tell people, hey, if you want to reverse engineering something, bring a VLX, because this is a job for a static scanner. If you're doing a 2D floor plan of the space, or an LOD 200, 250, architectural model, construction only, limited MEP, only big ones, sure, you can do it. But maybe in a larger building, you should bring a static scanner for a central staircase, mechanical room, merge all the floors with the VLX and be done much quicker and faster. And we have some of our folks who are practicing the workflows, our clients from TruePoint. We recently put up an interesting webinar how they combined their static scanners with the VLX. Finally, the third use case I wanted to mention that is becoming more and more prominent is digital factory. How big enterprise businesses are opening up more to digital twins. We were talking about digital twins since 2016, and before COVID, everyone was telling us, hey, Marek, this is cute, but I'm just gonna go to my building, have a nice day. And last year, everyone started calling back, asking, hey, can you tell me more about this virtual walkthrough? So I know the last year has been very tough for a lot of folks. It's been the best year for NavVis, because the demand for digital twins went up as people realized, maybe I will not be able to travel, and maybe I shouldn't travel, because why getting on a plane, wasting a day or a week of my life if I can just click on a computer, use our viewer to walk around the building, and our viewer works with all point clouds from other scanners as well. Take measurements, tag assets, do a quick punch lists, export pieces of the point cloud, and save into other software. Crunching the numbers together, I'm not sure if it's it should be the simplest way to put it together on the projects. Scanning 10 times faster, you save a lot of time in the field. All people at the home base are more efficient. They can focus on getting more projects, spending time with their clients, getting more business, and then finally the price per square foot. When you can cut it by half, you can open yourself up to other opportunities. This is not the market rate of scanning per square foot. It's most likely what a service provider, their internal costs would be doing analysis of the entire industry as a whole. And then one of the last slides for today, just to show what we do and what we make at NavVis. We still sell our M6 scanner that it's big and bulky, but for our enterprise clients, when it comes to scan a data center or factory with flat floors, finished surfaces, we joke around it's just easier to push a baby stroller for 8 hours than carry a baby on your shoulders for 8 hours. I know from experience. This baby at least doesn't move, so it's 19 pounds. It's a very light baby. But yeah, so for larger buildings, you can bring VLX. For smaller buildings, outdoors, any other spaces, bring VLX. You can bring it for larger buildings too. And then we also have our web viewer, virtual walkthroughs, digital twins, however you call it. Just trying to keep it short and sweet. We are ready for any Q&As.